My name is Ron English, and I'm an artist working and living in Beacon, New York. I actually grew up in the Midwest, and when I graduated high school I moved to Texas. That's where I went to college. And most people that know me think I'm from Texas, so I just let them think that. Kind of strangely, like these two big schools of art happened in my lifetime in the last 20 years. Pop surrealism and street art became very big, and I was kind of actually part of both of those things as they came up. So like there's a lot of pop surrealists and there's a lot of street artists, and I'm kind of both, and I hang out in both worlds. Usually, like as an artist, I wake up every day with a different idea, and I kind of have the luxury of being able to actually realize most of those ideas. My favorite color is purple, although most people don't like purple. I used to work at an art factory, one of those like art factories, you know, where you make those paintings, whatever. I started off doing Van Goghs, and then later I got to do Rembrandts, but it only paid minimum wage, you know. But I was more interested in my degrees in art history and in photography, and I never really studied painting, so. Suddenly I decided I wanted to be a painter when I moved to New York. So like, how do you learn how to be a painter? Yeah. And it's you know, so you kind of have to learn on the job. And the guy would always come over and say, no purple, purple doesn't sell, stop that. And I was like, I love purple. It's like, no purple, people hate purple. so I guess I love the one color nobody else likes. I got a graduate degree from UT in Austin. Actually, my main professor, Peter Saul, is up here too. He's I think he's like the most underrated artist, because he created this branch that we've all grown off of. Even Robert Williams, and even the people you would, you know, consider like the older fathers of this movement, even this predates them. Really? And they considered him a big influence. His stuff is mind-blowing. Like 20 years ago, I liked Diane Arbus and Joel Peter Witkin, and Les Levine. I loved him a lot, and I mean, Keith Haring was like really inspired me. But now it's, I swear to God, I think we're going through this huge renaissance, because I get my mind blown every day by new artists, you know. But like even up here, like Travis Louis down the street, the Starr Twins actually did their bamboo thing before they brought it to the Met, right down the street. And but right now, I can't imagine there have ever been a time when there were more great artists than there are right now. The only goal I've ever had as an artist is not to ever have a day job again. So, like with me, it's like every day that I get up and paint and don't have to drive a truck or all those other things I had to do in the past, that's a successful day. All through the 80s, you know, I kind of supported myself for periods of time, and then it fell apart, and then a lot of times I would go work for other artists or things, and so officially supporting myself as an artist 20 years.
That's great.
Took me till I was 30 figure it out. You know, I was either trying to figure out, I haven't been on a vacation in 20 years, or my whole life is a vacation, and I still can't figure out which is which. But you know, it's kind of like you keep going places, and it's interesting because, you know, I traveled the world when I was very young with absolutely no money. Like I wouldn't even have enough money to get a plane ticket back, and I tried to like draw in the streets, and I would sleep in the parks and whatever. So it's nice now that I get to go see the world again and get picked up in a limo, whatever, you know. It seems like kind of in life, things that you think are failures or mishaps sometimes end up being a really great thing that happened to you, but you can't see it for years later. You know what I mean? Like you didn't get this gallery and you're really upset, and then you get in a better gallery, and you wouldn't have been available to do that if you had signed with them, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So sometimes I think when things go wrong, it's actually better, you know, in the long run. But you don't realize it, of course, at the time. Everything you do is a copy in life, everything, you know. And it's like how close to the source or how far away from the source do you want to get. I like the idea of there being something familiar, so you already feel like, okay, I know what this is, but then it isn't right. But it's like, first you have that level of comfort, then you have the discomfort instead of just starting off with the discomfort. But also, it's the way I originally looked at it, because like I was kind of a political activist, and I was trying to make a certain statement about something, like one of my big issues was like using cartoon characters to sell cigarettes to kids. So, but how do you change the perception of something if they can take out 10 million ads and you can take out 10? But sometimes if you make like Ronald McDonald fat, and then people only see that once, but they'll see the real Ronald like 1,000 times, but then they keep remembering that, you know, he should be fat. Yeah. But your little image can change the perception of the image they're putting out there. Do do art that you want to see, you know, and do what you want to do, because whatever you do, you kind of get stuck with it, and you do owe something to other people. So like if you get a gallery and you're doing a certain kind of work, and you're doing that work because you think everybody likes Basquiat, so I'm going to paint like Basquiat, you know, because I would just want people to like me or whatever, and then, but you don't really like that. Now you're stuck doing that, because now he's already developed clients for this, and now you have to fulfill a demand, because, you know, you have a partnership and you owe them that, because you presented yourselves as this, so you get stuck making whatever you're making. And if you're making what you like, then you get stuck making what you like, and if you're making something for the wrong reasons, because you think that's what people want or whatever, or you see somebody else having success making a certain kind of image, then you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life, because you will be successful, but you'll be successful doing something you don't like instead of something you like. Either way, you're going to be successful as long as you stay at it. You know, once I was a kid, and I took a bunch of speed, and I was like, at a Ted Nugent concert, I was kind of all freaked out, and then I was standing right out back, because I was thinking, too high to drive, and standing back there, and this guy comes and leans next to me, and he's got like really long hair, and I was like, oh crap, you're like Ted Nugent, man. And I thought, well, this is an opportunity. Like, what would you ask Ted? You know, because he just hanging. I think he was waiting for his driver to come and drive him. So we stand there for a couple minutes, and he said, what's up? And they finally thought, I should ask him something. I should ask him his advice, right? So I said, Ted, like, you know, I'm like a young artist. Like, what should I do? Do you have any advice for me? And he goes, just do what you do until they like it. And I thought that's brilliant in a way. Like, that's back to what I just said. It's just, you know, you just do what you want to do, and you wait for fans to come to you and not the other way.